What's good, people? Welcome back to another episode of Potential Mayhem with Aaron, your favorite corner of chaos, culture, and courtside commentary. I missed y'all last week, but now we're back in full swing. You already know the motto: today's a great day to be great, and we've got some greatness to dive into. We're talking a loaded WNBA draft recap, the wild opening round of the NBA playoffs, and yeah, we're even tapping into a little Kendrick Lamar energy as he packed out US Bank Stadium, kicking off his GNX tour in style over the weekend. You know we do it all here, light, loose, without a mayhem needed to keep you engaged. Let's get into it. First off, let's talk about the WNBA draft. With the first pick, the Dallas Wings surprised no one and selected Paige Bueckers. The Minnesota native, UConn superstar, and certified bucket is officially a pro now. Then at number 4, Kiki Irefin joined the mix, and let me just say, DC is cooking something with Sonia Citron from Notre Dame and Georgia Moore from Kentucky. It will be interesting to see what their haul produces and how soon they are able to impact the Mystics. They might be in for a nice rebuild. Anissa Morrow was selected at 7 by the Connecticut Sun, bringing her relentless motor and scoring versatility. And I'm here for the reunion tour in Chicago. Haley Van Lith joins Angel Reese with the Sky. That's SEC swagger, pre-TCU of course, and high-level hoop IQ all in one locker room. In round 2, we saw Madison Scott head to Dallas. Tahina Powell's going to Atlanta. Bree Hall joins the Fever, and Rhea Marshall joining Morrow with the Sun. All in all, this could make for a solid class. There's leadership, confidence, and that next-gen swag the W fans love to see. Following the draft, the NBA playoffs kicked off, but before that, we had a spicy little appetizer in the play-in. The Magic shook off the Hawks, and the Dubs outlasted a gritty Grizzlies squad with the Ja Morant scare. The Mavs handled the Kings, and Miami said, "Don't worry, this will be quick," to Chicago. Then in true Heat culture fashion, they outlasted Atlanta in an entertaining finish to claim that 8th seed in the East. After the Mavs went to Sacramento and handled the Kings, Ja said, "Nah, let me hold that," as the Grizzlies took care of the Mavs to snatch that final playoff spot out west. Mayhem complete. Let's talk matchups. First round, we have Bucks versus Pacers. Pacers just too much for the Bucks. I said the Bucks might want to avoid this matchup, winning 117-98 in Game 1. Giannis was Giannis, 36-12. Dame's health is a big question. He's since been cleared off blood thinners, which is amazing news, and he could be back by Game 2 or 3. Siakam gave the Pacers 25-7. Miles Turner added 19-5. And shout out to the sideline drama. Hallie and Dame went bar for bar in a rap battle during a timeout.
Mustard has an ugly color. I'll take Mustard's musty mother and uppercut her through the upper cupboard. I'll run your cousin and your brother through the onion cutter. You belong in the dessert section next to the fluffy custard because you're sweet as honey mustard. Look at Dijon and horseradish looking like Dumb and Dumber. You guys probably f*** each other. And since you run with butter, my toast will never jam like your buddy Smucker. Everybody, yo. Get holes in your leather jacket. Get the ratchet. Something squirting if I see ketchup packet and rip his top open like a ketchup packet. You be with the french fries, tater tots. I be on sandwiches in the spread. Translation, you small potatoes and I'm out here getting to the bread.
This series has been personal as of late. Get your popcorn ready. Game 2 tips Tuesday evening. Next we have Clippers versus Nuggets. Game 1, an overtime thriller. Denver takes it 112-110. Harden looked like 2018 MVP Harden with 32-11. With Jokic and Gordon, they just made all the right plays. Christian Braun didn't help my parlay, so I might be tweaking the ticket for Game 2. You know how that goes. I too will be shortening my rotation. Russell Westbrook came through clutch with some plays at the end to help Denver seal a victory. The remaining games are anything like Game 1. This will be a very interesting series. Next we have Knicks and Pistons. Detroit was cooking until the 4th when New York cut their water off. Knicks went on a 21-point run in the 4th, winning 123-112. And Timothy Brunson gave 34-8. Cade struggled with efficiency but dropped 21. Tobias Harris gave him 25. Detroit led early in the 4th before the more experienced Knicks took over. Game 2 should be spicy as Detroit tries to bounce back, and we'll be looking to see how Cade responds.
It's crazy.
Next, we have the Lakers who lost home court and maybe some momentum, losing 117-95. Ant-Man only had 22, but didn't need to do much. Wolves shot 50% from 3, Casual 21 made 3-pointers. Jay McDaniels 25 with 11 of 13. Out of his mind, or maybe we're out of ours. I still haven't figured it out yet. LeBron had 19, but I personally wasn't a fan of the defensive scheme. Clearly, the Lakers' plan was to tape off the lane, but that requires guys to hustle to the corners and contest shots. And coming off a lengthy rest, guys just look too cool for school. Game 2 is going to be all about how they guard Ant, that approach, and if the Wolves can continue to knock down shots at a high clip. Then we had Thunder and the Grizzlies. Let's just say OKC beat Memphis like they owed them a gambling debt. 51-point BTA whooping. And Shea was just cool. Pulling up for a walkthrough, 4 for 13 with 15 points. Aaron Wiggins had 21 off the bench. Steady diet of balanced buckets across the board. Ja went for 17 and the second highest scorer from Memphis. Marvin Bagley, the third, with 17. But unless they find another gear, this might get ugly quickly. Memphis is not playing another team of old heads. Their peers seem to understand the assignment in Game 1. We'll see if that was a wake-up call or if what we're looking at is an insane level of separation between teams. Then you have Celtics and the Magic. Boston turned up in the third quarter and shut down Orlando. Paolo did all he could. He provided 36 points. Wagner chipped in with 23, but nobody else on that Magic team hit double digits. Meanwhile, Boston had transition buckets for days, outscoring Orlando 26-4 on the break while only committing less than a handful of turnovers compared to Orlando. White found his rhythm offensively, leading on scorers with 30, and we'll keep an eye on Jason Tatum's wrist that was bothering him after a fall. So the Celtics take the lead of the series 1-0. Cleveland handled business 121-100. Mitchell, Garland, and Ty Jerome combined for 85 points. Miami's back was against the wall, and it showed this one could be a sweep if Cleveland keeps that same energy. And then finally, closing out round 1, Steph and Jimmy Butler dropped the hammer in Houston. Combined for 56, and Steph was getting busy. Houston will need to make serious adjustments. I'm expecting double teams and traps in Game 2. Ime Udoka ain't going to let Wardell get loose again. Fool only needed a sliver of daylight on a couple of those shots he put up. He didn't look rushed, but definitely was operating within time restrictions and shot it efficiently. I'm sure Ime watched film today like Drewski is. The hitter could have been records. Hot. The fella did everything Houston tried to prevent him from doing. He and Jimmy will need some assistance, though, offensively moving forward, in my opinion. And it will be interesting to see where they get a boost from. Their last title run came with special performances from Wiggins and Poole. For them to prove Draymond correct, they will need someone to fill those roles. Who should we be on the lookout for? Will Podziemski be a reliable source? Is this the year Moody elevates to becoming a more solidified player they can count on? Kuminga obviously is not on good terms. Will he be forced to re-enter the rotation at some point? Game 2 could answer many of these questions when they reconvene on Wednesday. So before we wrap, let's take it to the stage. Kendrick Lamar kicked off his GNX tour with a sold-out show in Minnesota. Joining him were SZA and Mustard, and word on the timeline is the energy was top tier. From whacked out murals to peekaboo, Kendrick brought the full GNX track list. SZA floated across the stage like only she can, and Mustard had the stadium bouncing. Minnesota got the show of the year early, and if this is just the opener, bruh, we're in for a ride. Also, I want to show love to Ant Edwards and Nick Maddox, who dropped a short biopic style feature with Adidas. It's called By His Best Friend. It gives us a personal glimpse into Ant and Nick's relationship, how they met, their journey since Ant made it to the league. My only gripe is 13 minutes. I was expecting a lengthier video, but the storytelling and behind the scenes vibes were dope. Ant stays entertaining when the cameras are rolling. Wouldn't be surprised if this is a prelude to something bigger. Game 2 of the NBA playoffs just delivered some heat. Detroit finally breaks the curse, and Kawhi cooked in Denver. Let's break this all down. The Pistons ended their record-breaking 15-game playoff losing streak in style, beating the Knicks 100-94 at the Garden. Cade Cunningham dropped 33. Big bounce-back energy after Game 1. Dennis Schroeder hit a cold-blooded 3 late to seal it. Tobias Harris and Durant did the dirty work down low, despite Brunson dropping 37. Detroit said, not today. We're headed to the Motor City with the series tied 1 apiece. Out west, the Clippers said, we're not going outside, and bounced back with a gritty 105-102 win over the Nuggets. Kawhi was in his bag, 39 points on 15 and 19 shooting. Ice cold. Joker put up a triple-double, but also coughed up 7 turnovers. Murray tried to close, but Norman Powell and the Clips locked in late. Series heads to Inglewood. Momentum is shifting. Alright, so that's a wrap for this week's or today's episode of Potential Mayhem with Aaron. I'll be back in a couple of days, day or so, and there's plenty more madness to come. From the W to the league to Kendrick stage, this was one for the books. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and tell your cousin who still thinks the Pistons are making the finals to tune in. We'll be back in a few with more playoff heat, NFL draft countdown chaos, and whatever else brings the mayhem. Till then, stay great, stay safe, and remember, ain't no fun if the mayhem ain't getting thumbs.